Hello everyone, my name is ABA Pickle and welcome back to Warhammer 40k Darktide. Today we're talking about another family of weapons, another archetype, and today we're going over the 3 Recon Lasgun variants. So to my knowledge, this thing is only available on the Veteran Sharpshooter class. It is a Lasgun SMG and it is absolutely fun to use. Just shooting into a horde with a full auto Lasgun, there's something satisfying about it to me. It's got a fast reload. Before we get into the variants, there are a couple baseline things I want to go over about the entire archetype of weapons. One being that they are a close to medium range weapon. They kind of struggle at that longer range. Overall, they're really good against, all of them are good against shooters, and we'll go over which ones are the best as we go through the variants. None of them are good against your crushers or your bulwarks. These things will absolutely counter it, so my recommendation, as always, bring a chain sword, a power sword, or a chain axe. Those are my 3 recommendations to deal with carapace armor, and they work phenomenally. So, we're going to start off and go through all the variants. So starting off, we're going to be going over the Mark II, the awkward middle child of this family. And I think this thing is in a weird spot. It's definitely really fun to use and very effective, especially against shooters. You'll be able to clear the field as quickly as you want to of these things, which in Heresy and Damnation becomes a major issue. If you've ever played on those difficulties, you know how quickly those shooters can deal unnecessary damage to your team that is definitely avoidable if you just kill them. At the end of the day, this thing will do pretty good against your grenadiers or any unarmored specialists, but anything with carapace armor you're gonna struggle against, or anything that has more health, like the Ogrins. Definitely not going to be your weapon of choice, but we're gonna be doing the Reaper test anyway. So this is with volley fire, with my volley fire forever build on it. I will link that video in the top right if I remember to do it. If not, you can find it on my page. But overall, not that bad. Took about quarter of the clip, a little bit less, a little bit more. I don't remember exactly. But anyway, I'll put it in text about what it was. So this thing can chew through these Reapers in game. I feel like that is a really good time to kill, but that is standing still. You have to know that these things, when they fire, they do that suppression ability, which will knock off your aim. Even though you have that low recoil, it will still be a slightly longer time to kill in most situations. So, what do I think about this thing? I think it's pretty fun. I love shooting into hordes. I love shooting into crowds with something full auto in games. It's really satisfying for me to just take these heretics and mow them down. The specialists definitely leaves something to be desired for some of them. And overall, I think this thing definitely in Heresy and Damnation has a spot. As long as you know that it struggles and its strengths and weaknesses and play around it, this thing can succeed. But you're gonna need a good roll. Definitely something that is gold rating or above, preferably. But overall, this thing's decent. Moving on to the next variant, we are going to the Orbi Launcher, or as I call it, Mark 6D. This thing fires at Mock Jesus. It is the literal definition of a bullet hose, which has a couple pros and cons. One, even though it has low damage, it will still have a good DPS because of the absolute insane fire rate. It is good against hordes. You're not supposed to be the horde guy typically as a sharpshooter, but if you want to help with that, it is pretty good at handling them. When it comes to specialists, once again, unarmored enemies will fall very quickly because of the fire rate, unless they're super tanky like the Reaper, which we're going to do the Reaper test right now. Volley fire, all headshots, see what we can do. That right there is a lot of ammo that I just used. And it took a lot of time. The fact that we're not going to be fighting a Reaper standing still. There's going to be enemies around us, smacking us. He's probably going to be firing at us, giving us that suppression. Now granted, you'll have 3 teammates to try and keep those off you, which is the preference there. And if that happens, this thing can get rid of them pretty decently quickly, but definitely is up a little bit longer than what you would want. Against shooters, this thing will absolutely eviscerate them. It will. It will melt them, slaughter them, take care of them so your team doesn't have to worry about them. And that is where I think the biggest strength of this weapon is. When it comes to the negatives, you are a bullet hose. You will run out of ammo like crazy. And then the other one I can think of, if you are about 30 meters out and I unmark him there, you can see where the issue is going to be probably right now. He has glowing green eyes so I can tell where he is, but if I start firing, all I see is red. And it kind of blocks my view a little bit, but I don't think that is something that's going to be changed because this thing is not meant to be a sniper rifle. It's not meant to fire at those long ranges. So, it is something that I've noticed and something you should definitely be aware of. But other than that, not much else to say about this weapon. I think it can be pretty decent in Malice and below. Anything on Heresy and Damnation, you better be really good with it. I think every single gun has a potential for those difficulties. It's just how you play them. But this thing, it doesn't do enough damage, in my opinion. The rate of fire makes up for it without a doubt. But I like the more medium to long range kind of play style. And this thing really is the super close-up weapon that you're going to want to just bury into someone's gut and open fire. Going to the third variant, we are going to be going to my personal favorites, the Mark 7A. If you ever played Call of Duty World at War, it reminds me at least of the BAR, or the BAR, however you want to say it. It is a slower rate of fire, higher damage variant that has even less recoil than its other constituents in its family. And yeah, so when it comes to specialists, absolutely deletes them in comparison to the other ones. In my opinion, this is the best variant when we're going to the Reaper test. Volley fire. Much faster. 1400 DPS is pretty good. Once again, keeping in mind that this is a contained example. In an actual match, he will not be firing at a standing still Reaper. He will be moving, enemies will be attacking you, he'll be doing suppression, all that good stuff. This thing, not as great with hordes compared to the other two variants, but it is much better against specialists and very good against your gunners or shooters. This thing will absolutely just snap and they're dead. They're gone completely, which is phenomenal for those higher tiers of play on Heresy and Damnation. I think this one, in my personal opinion, is the best one, but then again, I'm just a person. If you don't agree with any of my thoughts on these weapons, or if I missed something that one of the variants is very good at and you think it's worth mentioning, leave it down in the comments. If you don't agree and you think all these things are trash, I'm always interested in hearing about different perspectives on these guns. I love engaging in constructive conversation, and I love just, learning more about the game. I don't know everything, and if you think you do know better, please go down to the comments and let me know. But my name is ABA Pickle. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Okay, now that the video is over, I just want to take a quick moment to talk about where we're going with the channel real quick. Pretty soon we'll be finishing up our Grounded stream and we will be revisiting Subnautica modded. Except for the mods, I don't know what they are. I had a mod pick them out for me. So yeah, we're going to be playing a mystery modded Subnautica, which I think is going to be fun. Also, when it comes to the Space Marine playthrough, we're going to delay that this week just because I just need a little extra time to get some footage together. Just some scheduling conflicts and all that good stuff. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys real soon.